Good morning and Shabbat Shalom. My name is Anna Susi, and I'm your 2019-2020 Biome USY President. I would like to welcome all our participants again for coming to the 46th Annual Claire Sodden Memorial Weekend, and I would also like to thank our co-chairs, Julia Eckerd and Emma Page, for all their hard work to put together an amazing weekend for all of us, and it's been fantastic so far. It's truly an honor to be able to talk about this wonderful young woman who was and still is such an inspiration for many of us here today. As many of you know, Claire Sodden was a very strong-hearted young woman who was very heavily involved in USY. She was a kind and encouraging person, and everyone around her loved her. She was courageous, and she wasn't afraid to speak up and voice her opinion. Claire was a dedicated member of Beth Israel, having graduated from our religious school and going to services every week. She wanted to further her Jewish education by attending the Baltimore Hebrew High School and college. Claire was a true role model of what a lot of USYers strive to be. Sadly, Claire's life was cut short before her 20th birthday due to complications of ovarian cancer. The loss of such an inspiring young woman was incredibly hard for the entire community, especially to all the USYers who had built a family with her. The following year, the teens of Beth Israel wanted to remember Claire the way she would have wanted: a weekend of fun, friends, and lots of ruach. The first Claire Sodden Memorial Weekend was 46 years ago, a year after she died. I went to my first Claire Sodden Memorial Weekend 5 years ago when I was in 8th grade, when my older siblings dragged me along. My eyes were opened to this young woman who made such an impact on so many people even after all those years. It was incredible to see how many people cared for her, and I can only imagine what would have been like to meet her myself. If I didn't go, I didn't know if I would be where I am today. Before I really learned about Claire, I didn't realize what the impact of one person could be, or the kind of relationship you can have with someone you're not related to. I never really had many friends growing up because I was the shy, weird kid. I wasn't part of a group I would consider like family. I wanted the kind of community and friendship that USY gave Claire, so I decided to join. It wasn't until I started USY that I learned how to be Jewish in my own way. I didn't think I would like USY because I hated Hebrew school. My disabilities made it almost impossible to learn Hebrew, so I never got passionate about my Judaism. It was just kind of there. USY helped me learn that you don't have to be good at that you don't have to be good at reading Hebrew or writing it. You don't have to sing every prayer or volunteer to carry the Torah. I like being Jewish because I can interpret the readings I want and debate them with teachers or rabbis. I like it because I can be Jewish in the way I want to, and I don't need to read Hebrew to be a real Jew. I like the community I get from synagogue and the Hebrew school, and I love the friendship, knowledge, and experiences I gained from USY. Being involved in USY and being surrounded by people I consider family really helped me come out of my shell. If you had looked at me 4 years ago versus now, you would see an entirely different person. I was extremely shy and afraid of being judged. I would almost never talk at events until someone walked up to me because they saw I was alone. That's just how USY is. I never thought I would be able to give a speech, let alone be president. 2 years ago, I co-chaired the 44th Claire Sodden Memorial Weekend. I was really scared to take up that leadership role, and it was something I've never done before. I was worried I wasn't going to be good enough, and I was going to let everyone down. But Becca somehow convinced me to do it. So I did. Claire was such an inspiration to me that I decided to run to be communications vice president the next year. Once again, I found myself helping to plan this amazing weekend about an amazing young woman who had inspired me to start my Jewish journey to begin with. I had gained a bit more confidence as I didn't have as much to do this time, and I was a bit more out of my shell. I was fine standing up in front of everyone, and I wasn't all that scared. At the beginning of this year, I decided to run for president. I still don't really know why, but it just felt right. Don't get me wrong, I was still scared. But Becca, my brothers, and my friends all thought I could do it, so I went with it. Claire gave me the hope that even I could make an impact on the community within this building, even if it's just inspiring some of the younger kids to look forward to joining USY, as Claire and many others did for me. I would like to thank my co-chairs, Emma and Julia again, as well as my board, Zan and Hannah, and to all the USYers who came this weekend, and all the congregants who make this place a second home. Spending this time as a community and celebrating Claire's life, rather than mourning her death, is so much more meaningful than I had thought at first, and I am so incredibly grateful I had this opportunity with all of you. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.